Coming up on OC News, a powerful earthquake hits Mexico, leaving hundreds trapped in the rumble. Rescue efforts continue as many wait to hear from their loved ones.
Hurricane Maria slams Puerto Rico. Now the deadly storm is bearing down on the Dominican Republic. The state of California sues the Trump administration. All this plus weather and sports. OC News starts right now.
It's a race against time. Rescue workers are trying to remove a girl from the rumble of the collapsed elementary school in Mexico City. Some 16 schools suffered major damage during the quake.
Good evening. Welcome to OC News. I'm Marissa Olid.
And I'm Alyssa Vega. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
It's been 24 hours since the 7.1 earthquake shook a wide area around Mexico City. We begin today's newscast with an update on the rescue efforts in Mexico. Reporter Cynthia Vargas has the latest news on the story.
Over 200 people have been reported dead in central Mexico as rescuers remain searching through collapsed buildings for survivors of the 7.1 magnitude earthquake that hit on Tuesday. With hundreds injured and a city left in dust and disaster, Mexico President Enrique Peña Nieto has called for a national emergency. In the wake of this devastation, the Los Angeles County Fire Department search and rescue teams are being deployed to Mexico to help search for survivors.
You see behind us is members getting ready, making sure all the supplies are ready to go, whether it's medical, our heavy equipment tools, our logistics, our computers. We even have doctors, surgeons here.
Many Cal State Fullerton students wondered if they had any family members affected by the misfortune in Mexico, and if this tragedy would receive as many relief efforts as recent catastrophes.
About it, I asked my parents if they knew anyone that was in the area of effect, and the reason I asked because the situation is really bad and the people affected don't have a lot of financial backing, and so what they lost was everything they had. And a lot of people don't really connect to that because they've never been in that type of situation when they lose everything.
I'm full Mexican and I have family in Mexico, and that's primarily the reason why I found out about the earthquake. I guess my family wasn't affected by them because we're from a state called Zacatecas, which is a few hundred miles away from the epicenter of the earthquake. And they told us about the earthquake, telling us it was extremely disastrous and stuff. And I've scrolled through Snapchat and there's only one story on Snapchat showing the earthquake.
I just feel bad because it's not getting enough recognition from the whole world. If that disaster happened in America, for example, or in France or in Sweden, everybody is gonna show love. Everybody is gonna show sympathy and how sorry they are about it.
There are multiple relief efforts online that you can donate to for the earthquake in Mexico. I'm Cynthia Vargas Ricio reporting for OC News. Back to you ladies at the desk.
Hurricane Maria is barreling towards the Dominican Republic at this hour. It's now been downgraded to a Category 2. It does not appear that the storm will hit Florida. Yesterday, Puerto Rico was hit hard. All electricity is still out on the island. A curfew is in effect until Saturday morning. CNN's Stacey Cohen has the story.
This is what 150 miles per hour winds look like. Hurricane Maria is barreling through Puerto Rico, where it made landfall as a Category 4 storm. 2/3 of the island are experiencing hurricane-force winds.
There's a lot of flooding, there's a lot of infrastructure damage, but the only thing that should matter right now is that people stay safe, that we can save life, and then we'll start the rebuilding.
Only about 11,000 of Puerto Rico's more than 3 million residents are in hurricane shelters. Calls for rescue began almost immediately after the storm hit Wednesday morning, but first responders are unable to reach potential victims until the winds subside. Even the National Weather Service is feeling its force as fierce winds destroyed 2 of their radars on the island, and the worst may be yet to come.
Yes, we will feel the brunt of it for the next 12 hours. But afterwards, we're going to get a lot of rain, and maybe people might have a sense that they have gone through the worst part of it. But as we know with hurricanes, it's the flooding, it's the heavy rains that tend to be the #1 cause of death.
Flooding for residents in low-lying areas could bring extensive damage to homes and buildings. The true extent of Maria's impact, both in Puerto Rico and other islands in the Caribbean, won't be known until the storm finally passes. I'm Stacey Cohan reporting.
California Attorney General filed a lawsuit against Trump's proposal to build a wall at the U.S.-Mexico border for environmental reasons. This isn't the first time California filed for a lawsuit against the Trump administration. Last week, California, along with 3 other states, filed a suit to stop the administration from terminating the Deferred Action from Childhood Arrivals program, also known as DACA.
The search is on for 4 suspects who robbed a Yorba Linda man of a large amount of cash. Police have not released details about the man or the money. What we do know is that he was robbed in front of his home of the changing lane last night around 9. 4 men wearing hoodies and driving a red 4-door sedan were armed and got away with the money. They also stole the victim's wallet and cell phone.
It's official. The controversial speaker, Milo Yiannopoulos, booked for an appearance at CSUF on October 31st, Halloween. The College Republicans Club has been working on getting Yiannopoulos since May. Many students are upset about his appearance on campus because of his views on student color, women, and transgender students. There has been talk of students protesting the day of his speech. Campus officials say the additional officials will be on duty.
Coming up, National Hispanic Heritage Month celebrates the contributions made to our county by Latinos.
All changes on sexual assault, police is expected here at Cal State Fullerton.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
President Mildred Garcia of Cal State Fullerton is hosting a reception to kick off Hispanic Heritage Month. Estrella Monreal is live at the reception.
Hi, yes, I'm at the Fullerton Marriott, where as you can see, people are starting to arrive. Cal State Fullerton is kicking off their Hispanic Heritage Month at this event at 5:30 to 7:30. I was here earlier as they were setting up the reception. Their special keynote speaker is going to be Cesar Vargas. He is the first undocumented lawyer to practice law in the state of New York. And he is also the co-founder of the Dream Action Coalition. If you want to attend, head on over. And if not, it's okay, because we're going to have all the highlights and his story next week on Wednesday on our show. Reporting to you live from the Fullerton Marriott, I'm Estrella Monreal for OC News. Back to you guys in the studio.
October is coming to an end, and fall is here. Let's see what if the weather is ready to start acting like fall. Here's Tiffany Telez with this week's forecast.
Hi, my name is Ksenia Tarniuk, and I'm here with the weather. Today's weather update for today is 76 in the high, and there'll be 64 in the low, 8-mile-per-hour winds. There's a 57% chance of humidity and a 10% chance of rain, and that 10% chance will be turning into 40% tomorrow morning. There'll be light showers tomorrow morning, and Friday it will clear up for the rest of the week, and it will remain getting hotter all week, with all next weekend being in the high 90s. And that's all for the weather today, Titans. Back to you in the studio.
Cal State Fullerton launches its new tools to help students report violence and sexual assault right before Betsy Devils decide to remove Title X guidelines. Ksenia has more on the story.
California State University Fullerton will be submitting its annual Clery report of on-campus sexual assault statistics on October 1st and just launched a new feature on its Title IX website that allows students to report sexual assault online. This comes in the midst of Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos's decision to rescind Obama administration Title IX guidelines that she and the Board of Education will be updating to better protect victims and the accused.
I understand that there's a huge fear that the accused might not be guilty, but I feel like taking away certain things that Title IX provides us with might lead us back into history where a victim might come out and say, I was sexually assaulted, and they'll either be really, really questioned on whether they're being honest, and it'll just either have the victim back away and not want to continue the process, or there will be no kind of support or justice for the person that was sexually assaulted.
Our Title IX website is dedicated to resources and information on school policies, along with tips for knowledge and prevention. To file a report, you just have to go to the Title IX homepage, and you'll find a File a Complaint button which you can access anywhere you have internet. Mary Becerra, our Title IX coordinator, said students have already began to use this feature, and she hopes it will help victims feel more comfortable to come forward.
One of the best features of the website that we're so proud of is that we now offer online reporting. So a student, faculty, staff member, campus visitor, anyone that has information about a potential violation of our policy, whether it's sex-based discrimination, harassment, or some of the other interpersonal violence, that they can do that in the comfort of their home or wherever they might be on a mobile device to let us know as quickly as possible after it happens so that we can get a response.
Any school receiving federal funding must protect those who have been sexually assaulted or harassed. And with the new tools our campus and other campuses are launching, it's making it easier for victims to report cases. Cal State Fullerton is also part of the It's On Us campaign, which is a national movement to end sexual assault, and the campus constantly offers training and education on sexual assault and violence prevention.
Reporting to you for OC News Team, this is Ksenia Tarnuk.
When we come back, a look at a club that builds competition race cars.
And stick around because we're talking all things sports after the break.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be earthquake next Thursday.
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So.
I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
It was a warm homecoming for the Cal State Fullerton women's soccer alumni who came back to play against their former teammates. Reporter Monica Vianda has more.
Cal State Fullerton's women's soccer team held an exhibition game against alumni this past Saturday at Titan Stadium. Alumni were excited to take the field once more with old teammates and friends. The game kicked off just after 6 p.m. with both teams determined to win. It wasn't long before we saw some action. CSUF Titans got on the board first with an early first-half goal from number 9, Haley Povitz. The alumni battled back and finally broke through with a late goal in the second half by alumni Candace Love. Love shared with me what she enjoys about the alumni game.
Oh, I love coming back playing alumni games. It's so much fun. Get to see Damien and old teammates. It's fun.
After the game, Titans goalie shared why this game is so special.
We have a big saying in our locker room and with our team that says, do it for past, present, and future. So I think this game really embodies that. It's nice to see who we're out here representing, meet them if we don't know them and didn't play them, play with them, and to meet or to see the ones that we did play with, and just the culture of the team. It's just really nice when we all come together.
Even though the alumni lost 5-1, what mattered most was that present Titans were able to share the field with those who came before them. It was a friendly match between Cal State Fullerton's women's soccer team and the alumni. Reporting for OC News, I'm Monica Dianda.
Cal State Fullerton Society of Automotive Engineers has built another race car and is ready to take us on their journey. Kelsey Brink has more on the story.
Formula SAE is under the branch of the Society of Automotive Engineers at Cal State Fullerton, and every year they put their hearts and souls into building a race car to compete in competitions. They don't do this because it's a burden, they do it because it's their passion. Brian Lozada, president of SAE, tells why he is so passionate about his organization and the motivation behind him.
It helped me apply everything that I learned in class to an actual project. Sometimes it's hard to understand some of the theories that we learn in class, and seeing it in real life just makes it much easier, and it's just a really great way to put everything on, hands-on. This is a passion for me. It's great to drive the car too. It's a really great feeling. You get to really feel the adrenaline, but it's just being in the team in general is amazing, because our team is it's like another family, to be honest.
Formula SAE team captain Joel Duelbon shared with me why it's important to him for Cal State Fullerton to know about their thrilling project.
So we build a new race car every single year. It's a very collaborative project that can actually involve a lot more people than just mechanical engineering students.
We're so tied to this project, and we're eager to push forward and improve on every aspect of the car as possible, so we can do really well in competition in June.
Passion, family, and fun, the Society of Automotive Engineers at Cal State Fullerton is ready to showcase their new race car and is thrilled to compete in June. I'm Kelsey Brink for OC News.
Cal State Fullerton had some action-packed games in the last few days. Playoff baseball fever has hit Southern California, and hockey season is just around the corner. Jason Gerlin has more with sports.
Hello and welcome to OC Sports Update. I'm Jason Gerline. CSUF women's soccer took on Denver in an away game on Monday. The Titans got off to a slow start as they allowed Denver to score in the 7th minute. The Titans would find their rhythm later in the first half as Atlanta Primus got involved in the scoring, first assisting the teammate Samantha Tomans for the first goal, and then scoring the second goal herself. However, Denver would come out fighting in the second half and were able to tie and then take the lead, winning the game 3-2. Despite the loss, the Titans still hold the top winning percentage in the Big West. The Titans will take on San Diego at home on Friday. Women's volleyball hosted CSUN in their first conference matchup of the season. The Titans and Matadors traded wins in the first 2 sets. The third set was narrowly won by the Matadors 25-22. The fourth set was a different story, as the Titans couldn't keep it up and lost 25-13. The Matadors took the game 3-1. The loss, however, showed improvement for the Titans moving forward. Volleyball plays again on Friday at Cal Poly. Moving on to baseball, the Dodgers are in the midst of preparing themselves for the playoffs and trying to capture their 5th straight NL West crown. Yesterday, midseason acquisition Yu Darvish looked to build off his last quality start and pitch well against the Phillies. Darvish would go on to allow 1 run and strike out 7 and 5 in the 3rd innings. Unfortunately, this would not be enough, as the Dodger bullpen would allow the Phillies to break open the game in the 5th, where they scored 4 runs to take a 5-2 lead. They would lead the rest of the game and win 6-2. Despite the loss, the Dodgers still have a chance to clinch the NL West today with a win and an Arizona Diamondback loss. The Angels continue their battle for the AL wildcard as they take on the red-hot Cleveland Indians. The game was competitive all night long until the Indians would score runs in the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, while the Angels could only muster 1 run in that span. In the bottom of the 8th, with runners at 1st and 2nd, Brandon Phillips would single in C.J. Cron to close the deficit to 1 run. The hope for a comeback was short-lived, however, as the Indians scored 3 runs in the top of the 9th to put the game out of reach for the Angels. Cleveland would go on to win 6-3. The series continues tonight and tomorrow. Then the Angels head out on the road to take on Houston and Chicago. The Angels currently sit a game behind the Minnesota Twins for the 2nd wildcard spot. In hockey news, the Los Angeles Kings and Vancouver Canucks will play the first ever preseason games played in China. The two games, which will take place September 21st and 23rd, will be played in Shanghai and Beijing, respectively. The games are meant as a method to help grow the game and popularize the sport in China. Just down the road from us, the Anaheim Ducks will play their first home preseason game at 7 against the Arizona Coyotes. They're looking to rebound off a 5-0 loss they suffered against the San Jose Sharks last night. That's the sports update for today. Back to the ladies at the desk.
That's all for today. Thank you for joining us in another show of OC News.
Don't forget to follow all our social media accounts at OC News CSUF. We'll see you next time.